After an intense week with Nintendo, you know, we had their big direct and a lot of blowback in terms of pricing. We don't know what PlayStation's doing, but we know what Xbox is doing. And that's because they just announced, as of this morning, there is going to be a Xbox game showcase. As per usual, you know, we knew this. It's not like this is anything new. It's just a point of conversation today. But what I think is really interesting is the direct that follows it. Because it's going to be Outer Worlds 2. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, every year there's always been a follow-up to these Xbox showcases, at least ever since 2023. We had Starfield in 2023, and then we had Call of Duty Black Ops in 2024. So that's why I'm saying this is a little bit interesting that, you know, you think of a game like Starfield, huge next Bethesda release. That's a big deal. And then you think of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and the big first Call of Duty game under Xbox. That's a pretty big deal. And I think this is a point of inclusion that I'm going to talk about because it's just pretty interesting that this year's follow-up show is going to be Outer Worlds 2. But before getting into that, when is the big show, the Xbox Showcase? Well, it's going to be June 9th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Pacific Coast, West Coast, Best Coast. But, yeah, so it's going to be on June 8th, 10 a.m. And they don't give many details here, just very briefly, you know, make room on your calendar. June 8th, 10 a.m. Pacific. Following in the footsteps of 2023, Starfield Direct in 2024, Black Ops 6 Direct. This year, we will also have a double feature with the game showcase immediately followed by the Outer Worlds 2 Direct. It all begins with our annual Xbox Game Showcase, yada, yada, yada. And, you know, there's not really much else information in here. Just, you know, you can enjoy it in 40 languages. But for context, I think this Xbox Showcase, and we'll talk about this later on in the year, there's something that's kind of interesting about it. Because last year was a freaking blowout, man. It was a blowout. If you look on screen, I guess I can't enlarge this any bigger, but there was so many games last year that it was nuts. And like first party wise, there was like a solid 11. You look on screen here with freaking Call of Duty, Indiana Jones, Gears of War E-Day, Doom, Vow, Diablo, Age of Mythology Retold, World of Warcraft War Within Reminder, Microsoft Flight Sim, Fable, Perfect Dark, South of Midnight, Shattered Space, Fallout 76, Elder Scrolls Gold Road, Save Decay 3, I almost forgot about that, Sea of Thieves. And those are all the first party things. But like half of this list is just first party stuff. So I'm kind of just curious on like, how do you follow that up? And especially in a year that like, you know, I know State of Decay 3's coming. I know Perfect Dark's coming. And, you know, we know now Outer Worlds 2 is coming. But like in terms of the back half of the year, you know, we started off the front half with Doom the Dark Ages, South of Midnight, and Avowed. Three first party things. And if you want to count Towerborn's about to come to console too. And the back half of the year, Fable's been delayed. I fully believe that before Xbox, you know, made this announcement, this was fully going to be a Fable Direct following Xbox Game Showcase. Because that's what I want to ask you is like, what is Xbox's big fall release this year? What's their big holiday title that's going to, you know, get people to resubscribe to Game Pass, maybe consider buying a console? What is your big fall holiday title that you're going to sell? That's why I'm saying when it was Starfield, made total sense. Big next Bethesda RPG. Black Ops 6. Everybody and their mother buys Call of Duty. Okay, maybe not their mother. If your mother plays Call of Duty, that's fine. But they don't really like have that this year. Like, yeah, Ninja Gaiden 4, that's Xbox published. It's a partnered game, but that's an Xbox published game. All we have left, now that Fable has been delayed, is Outer Worlds 2. If any game deserves a direct, I guess, technically speaking, it's Outer Worlds 2. Because the only thing we have ever seen of this game was really just the teaser on screen. Like, this was in 2021. Awesome showcase, by the way. That's still like an all-timer for me. But we've only got this teaser and then the Game Awards trailer. We recently got to see gameplay of it at the Game Awards. And that was a great gameplay trailer where we got to know the date and everything. But, you know, that was it. All we know is that it's coming in 2025. So what I'm getting at is that Outer Worlds 2 hasn't had a showcase or a direct of any kind. We just know that's coming 2025, and we've seen a 2-minute gameplay trailer of it, and it's teaser like 3 years ago. But it's kind of wild, man, because then what? Is Obsidian Entertainment just carrying? Not carrying, that's the wrong term, I'm sorry. But just they released 2 of their games this year as big RPGs? That's kind of wild. So I'm looking forward to Outer Worlds 2. I just finished Avowed, and I'm excited that it's going to get a full-blown... Actually, I think I'm watching this for the first time in 4K, and this looks really good, actually. I haven't seen it in this visuals, but I'm getting Avowed vibes all over again, but I just finished Avowed. But so it's like, I'm not upset that it's Outer Worlds 2. It makes total sense. But it's like, it makes me think if it is Outer Worlds 2, does Xbox not have a big fall release? You know, do they consider Outer Worlds 2 their big fall release? And does that mean like Ninja Gaiden 4 is the runner-up? And then maybe there's something we don't know about, like a DLC or something, but it just makes me think, and that's fine. I want to communicate that. That's fine. It just makes me think that the front, it's rare. It's really rare that the front half of an Xbox year, to me at least, let me know how you feel, feels stronger than its back half. That's totally subjective. I'm really curious how you feel about that. But yeah, so that's, to me, like, that's the big question about this whole thing, is like knowing that this is an Xbox Game Showcase, same time as usual, June 8th. I think if we even look at a calendar, that's like probably going to be on a Sunday. Yep, Sunday. What did I? But yeah, you know, I just think it's really interesting that it's an Outer Worlds 2 Direct, and that means, you know, they'll have that and Ninja Gaiden 4, and this, you know, confidently tells me that we are not getting Gears E-Day this year, because 100% if Gears E-Day was this year, that would be the Direct. That would be the Direct, and that would make me... And you might think, like, oh, but they only just revealed it. Of course they're not going to do it. Yeah, but they revealed Black Ops 6 in the showcase alongside doing that Direct. So it's not unprecedented is what I'm getting at. But so I just think it's interesting, and it's proving my theory all the more that I think 2026 is going to be an insane year for Xbox, because I think they are literally just kind of like stockpiling stuff, and that's where we're going to see a lot of these titles that are going to kind of blow things out of the water.